grab your torch and dip it into the sexy St. Jeff candle. No Buffs is back. I'm J.E. Skeets, along with my fellow tribe members, two guys who have also had to dig through their children's poop to find a tooth or two. It's JD and Trey Kirby. What's up, guys?
What's up? Never done it.
No?
Nope, never.
What about you?
I've dug through my kids' poop.
Oh.
Never specifically for a tooth. They gave their first tooth to the tooth fairy, and after that, they're like, I want to save my teeth.
Oh.
I want to have them. I don't know what they're planning.
Yeah.
Interesting. What are they using those teeth for?
They gave up, though, that sweet cash.
I know.
Wow. Amazing. Well, sorry, why were
you digging through poop?
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's more just like, not digging through, but obtaining sample, if you will.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Our guy, by the way, Eshwa, in the background on the ones and twos, producing this already wild episode here of No Buffs. We're here to recap episode 2 of Survivor 44, titled Two Dorky Magnets. Shout out to the live tribe joining us here on YouTube. We love to see it. Hit that subscribe button, comment away. And to all of our podcast listeners, leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. All right. This episode, we are attacking, for the most part, in chronological order. It was only an hour long. A lot more easy to wrap your head around and to digest. Yeah, like a tooth going through you real quick. We start with night 3, Ratu, the Orange Tribe. Matthew comes back and tells us right away, because we were questioning, hey, what was going on? Why did he do the whole shot in the dark thing?
Right.
And he tells us, look, my reasoning was, 1, idle flushed from Brandon, but then playing the shot in dark meant I got to hide my loyalty. I didn't actually have to pick a side here early on. And that's something we had talked about, and he is at least saying that was exactly his move.
Yeah.
Slick. I think pretty slick.
I like it when you want to abstain. Right? It's a great sort of shield to be like, I feel vulnerable. I'm going to use my shot in the dark. And as we said last week, the guy was in a sling for most of the time. That's a target on your back. So
But he didn't do it because he felt like he was the target.
No, well, that's what he said. But
I think he did it more like, hey, if I don't have to vote, then they're not going to know whose side I'm on.
Yeah, totally. I think that's
perfectly played.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That was the primary reason for doing it. I'm just saying that he has that extra sort of shield of being like,
I see.
It is conceivable that I would feel vulnerable.
I am the weakest out here now with one arm.
Right.
Though, don't worry, I'm
Apparently
going to
not.
kick ass in a challenge here because I've built a replica in my backyard. I'll get to that later. Also from this tray, we have Lauren, she has now banked the extra vote. She told them there in the darkness.
In the darkness.
Which we were like a little perplexed by.
At first, but I think we figured it out that Brandon was like, who voted for me?
And so she's like, well,
"Wasn't
it wasn't me because I went to Shipwheel Island, didn't have a vote, told you that, and in fact, I actually have an extra vote.
Right.
And it's Zane in the end anyway. And we get
Kane.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Zane is a prior Survivor guy, right? Kane, of course, is the undead wrestler.
Yeah, that's right. So Kane and Brandon have like this, what we thought would be maybe a little awkward. Kane needs to figure out how he's going to repair the relationship. Brandon tells us in confessional, hey, I'm just trying to play it cool here, but like, screw this guy.
Yeah. And, to Kane's credit, he's like, I bet that guy's thinking, screw this guy, because I'm going into the woods and straight up looking for an idol right now.
Yep.
He knew that it was going to look bad for him, and it did. And Brandon did take offense to it, but he's playing it cool too. So, I thought a pretty solid resolution to last week's episode for everybody. Hearing Matthew's reasoning behind why he actually did play the shot in the dark. There was also the question of, would Lauren coming back and saying that she lost her vote and that's it, and then Matthew getting the information about, the little shell while he was sitting out at immunity, that could have come back to bite her. All perfectly played.
Yep.
And right now it feels like they are all kind of tiptoeing around each other, like, we're all still here. We'll see if we're actually together going forward, because it doesn't really feel like anybody is that linked.
No. And outside of this first scene, and then going back to them where you said Kane. Here's the problem. I wrote Zane in my notes, so everywhere I have Kane's name, I wrote Zane. Luckily, I was going to say there's not a lot more from this tribe in this episode. Outside of him, Kane, finding or going out to find the key for the birdcage and instead finding a crab.
Right.
And getting Matthew to come get it for him. And then them going, well, I guess he was looking for the key.
Yeah.
Because why was he looking in this, dead tree?
Yeah.
And so they know that he's obviously feeling pretty vulnerable.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about Survivor. It is that you go through so much to get on the show. Right?
Yep.
You're auditioning. You're saying, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to play my ass off. I'm going to be the best player there is. But it's the only game in the world that I can think of where you actually have to, once you're playing the game, you have to pretend like you're not playing the game. Otherwise, they're like, oh, this guy's actually playing the game that we're all playing right now. So he's got to go, right?
He's playing a little too much right now.
But it makes perfect sense. The guy, he's, as you just said, he voted. He was the one guy that voted
for
Brandon, and he's got a target on his back. Why wouldn't he look for the key? I mean, everybody would agree with that, but it's like, nope, he's playing the game, so he's got to go. I love that part, that dynamic of Survivor, but...
I should correct myself. I'm off to a rough start here. I guess he wasn't looking for the key because it's already been found because Brandon had the idol from that birdcage.
Right.
So in theory, he's just looking for the idol again.
Yeah, that's what they
Instead
said.
He found
it
a crab.
should be back out there.
It should
be.
That was a weird place for a crab to be.
Yeah.
In a tree?
A snake in a tree, too.
Snake in a tree, I get.
Yeah.
Crabs are usually by water. So that thing walked all the way away from the water, climbed up a tree, and into a hole. That was a planet crab.
Oh, wow.
You think?
I'm on to you, Jeff. Why would a crab be inside of a tree?
That's what Kane should have said. Hey, I found a crab, Matt. I put it in the tree for you, just so it wouldn't get away.
Well, maybe there's an idol within that crab. Because we just learned from Jeff Probst's podcast that they once planted, I guess it was an idol nullifier, in a fish.
Wow.
That Jonathan was cleaning and he just threw out. He didn't even think twice of it. There was a reward challenge. They won a bunch of fish. I believe they were, what were they? Nice-sized fish?
They were nice-sized
fish.
Yeah, and there was
decent-sized fish.
There was something in there, and they just chucked it out.
All right, it looks like there are things called tree crabs.
Yeah.
There you go.
They got everything. I recently saw a caterpillar that turns itself into a viper.
What?
Yeah, it was wild,
For
man.
real?
Yeah, it was.
Why isn't this talked about more?
I gotta find this Instagram link and send it on. It was sick.
Okay.
I hope they find one.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it
that's
was crazy.
That's really the Orange Tribe there again. We don't hear much else from them in this episode.
What do you think they did? Just shove the idol nullifier right down the fish's throat?
Yeah.
It must have been, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Put it on a fish hook, cast it out there. Wait for
That would be the long way to go about it, but maybe. Okay, well, let's go to the Soca tribe, the Green tribe. It is day 4 if you're keeping track here. We get the whole Matt and Frannie, this budding relationship. Romance, dare I say. I think I can say. A showmance.
100%.
They seem both very into each other, and because we get Matt talking about, there was a lot of talk about dogs, and I got really excited. And then I got sad in a hurry because he's like, my ex-girlfriend took our dog. So my dog's gone. Or her dog. I guess it was probably. Was it their dog? Was it her dog and he came into the relationship? I need more details.
They
about
got it together, I assume. It was their dog.
That's tough.
She took the dog.
Does he see the dog on weekends?
I mean, is that a thing? Do people
know.
co-parent dogs?
God,
Absolutely, they do.
I would imagine.
Wow. That's next level.
That's tough. Oh, yeah, that's next level to you.
Next level to me. I mean, come on.
Just get another dog, man.
Exactly.
It ain't that hard. Get a
They're
dog.
literally a dime a dozen.
It's probably better. You're on Survivor for a month and a half.
Right.
Oh, yeah, she's taking care of it. Yeah.
At least the dog is being cared for.
Great point.
He talks about in a confessional, his stock is at an all-time low. But again, this bonding here with him and Frannie, and he does tell her about his lost votes. There is a lot of her putting her head on his shoulder, and there's some arms around each other, and he can't stop talking about how her her giggles and the way she laughs and
Hey, man.
Are we shipping this?
We are absolutely shipping this.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I'm loving it. A showmance, a good old-fashioned showmance. You gotta love it, but it's terrible gameplay. Obviously.
Oh yeah. You know it's bad because they're like, this is bad.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
And their
all
team
right.
members are saying, this is dumb. You should not be doing this. At least to Frannie, right? That we saw.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of shots of Claire, I believe it is. Like some eye rolls, some like get a room and you
straight
two.
up laughing.
Yeah,
And who knows if that's what she was actually reacting to, but
that's how they're playing it up here.
Yeah, a chef's kiss on this edit. Although I will say, I thought they broke out like it was like the cancer cue, where you know what I mean, like this is the music that we save for like
Sad
you know
stuff.
I lost my parents kind
Yeah.
of thing. It's like I broke up with my girlfriend and she took the dog. Bling. Like,
thought
I thought it was too
much.
heavy-handed. Too heavy-handed.
That's probably fair.
Yeah,
I feel bad for the guy, but yeah.
Yeah, of course, I feel bad for him,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not like, come on, like save that
winning.
music for something, something bigger.
Yeah.
We had a woman who didn't have a leg, who
Yeah, yeah.
lost her leg. I don't think they played that music for that.
Sure.
So
What'd you think of the edit of this Matt and Frannie scene here on Soca?
I mean, it's cute.
Yeah.
It was cute. That's the only way I can say it.
it's the best word for it.
Yeah, it's just cute.
It's goddamn adorable. I'm happy for it.
I'm fascinated to see, like you say, it's bad gameplay. I would generally agree with that. Like, holy crap, you're just making it so obvious that you're a twosome here.
Yeah.
But within a small tribe, maybe they have a little more wiggle room. Like, you need really like one more person
Right.
to just bring on into your couple, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
It changes once you get into, obviously, if they hit the merge and bigger tribes and stuff like that. But I think they're letting us they're setting this up because it's like, well, which way is it going to go here?
Right.
Is this going to be their demise, but they found love, and who cares? Or is it going to
Hopeless
be,
place.
is it going to work somehow in their favor because people are like, well, damn, there's only 6 of us here still in Soca. Maybe we should just put our focus on somebody else because we don't have to convince there's less numbers if they're paired up. We'll see.
I don't think it works that way in this new game. I think people see couple and they're like automatically got to break them up. Because if you join as a third, you're automatically on the bottom. And you know that going in.
I'll push back on that because you just said, and we'll get to Carolyn in a second here, the new Survivor is play like you're not playing Survivor.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are always like locked in. So if these two lovebirds are just...
Right.
They can't stop keeping their hands off each other. They're not thinking about the game at all. They're thinking about their future, the next dog they're going to buy together. Kids, life.
Hey, man.
Maybe it'll work out. They're like, they're not even playing anymore. They're just...
Yeah. I mean, that's a very good point.
Not
I mean,
really,
and
but-
traditionally, you can't have both. Except for Rob and Amber, right? Boston Rob and Amber,
Yeah.
famously married, still married. They have kids.
Yeah.
One of the greatest successful showmances of all time, maybe?
If not the most successful.
On a show that's not designed for that. Like a Bachelor is like you're supposed to
Yes,
fall in love
yes.
on those
Yeah.
shows, but I mean,
They both win $1 million.
they both win $1 million. But traditionally, other than that, that's the outlier. You can't have both. You're either winning at life and romance, or you're winning Survivor. You can't have both.
Okay.
It's even happening to Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz right now. The exact same thing, man. You can't have it all. It's going to be sad, though, when she cuts him and keeps his idol.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. You think there's going to be
Another
a
heartbreak
back
for
thing.
Matt. I do
Damn.
believe.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Then you can really drop the strings on that one.
Oof, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also within this tribe, we get Danny finding the key, and I did love sarcastically telling us right away, I can't wait to tell everyone. It's like, yeah, right. Great. Well played.
Yep.
What an episode for Danny. So he finds it, he opens it, the birdcage, gets the hidden immunity idol, gets this fake silver coin, and then I'm not particularly sure what did he put the fake one back in there with the real parchment? I don't know what went back in the bag, but it's back in there.
Yeah.
People, they went up to it if I remember correctly. They're like, yep, okay, still there. And
Yep. Looked like it had some
nobody
weight to it.
Nobody is none the wiser. Nobody knows that he has this thing.
Played it perfectly.
Basically perfectly. Yeah.
I mean, guys, I love the Birdcage. I love it.
You love it.
I love this new
The
dimension.
movie. You're talking about the movie.
Yes, the movie.
That's good.
The original La Cage aux Folles, also, obviously a classic, really. But the Birdcage in their camps just adds to this whole new dimension.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly this episode because we saw somebody play it perfectly and then somebody else play it not so perfectly, but
Worked out still in
it
her favor.
still
so
worked
far.
out. I mean, she pulled it off better than anyone. Carolyn, of course, we're talking about. But yeah, I love the paranoia that it causes.
Yeah.
I love that they're checking. And in Danny's case, they're like, let's see. Looks okay. I think it's fine. And then in Carolyn's case, of course, it's like CSI all of a sudden. And it's just like, ooh, it's open. And it's, clearly it looked like one of her socks was just draped.
She left her underwear in there.
Yeah,
she
she's just
dropped
like,
something in there.
Just fingerprints everywhere.
And they're still looking at each other, though. Like, they
That's right.
still can't pick up.
Yeah, but she has her arms crossed.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I agree. I think the Birdcage is awesome. I guess it's replaced the stealing or trading beads.
Right.
And this, I liked that. I thought that was a cool
that was
thing.
good. Cool too.
But I think this is better because it now involves everybody. Like,
Right.
it's a stressful situation for everybody rather than just the one person who has to complete a mission. You're like, will they do it? Will they do it? This is like intrigue for the entire tribe.
Yeah.
Right.
Also cool that in the bags, all of the idols look different. So, like, one
Yes.
person got a coin for a fake idol. One person got a coin as the real idol.
Yes.
So, like, when they actually
Holy
get together, you're like,
crap.
these things will be different, and we won't actually know which ones are the real idols, which is cool.
Which is confusing for us, but also
Yes.
confusing for the players.
Oh, yeah.
If they say, oh, that actually, if somebody reveals like, oh, I got a coin, like that's not actually an idol.
Yeah.
That's the fake one, man. You fucked up. And then it's gonna.
Then maybe it's real.
It's just so good.
That's
I
cool.
love it.
It is great. And it is cool that we've had like it's gone 3 different ways at all 3 tribes with this Birdcage.
Right.
Danny perfectly putting it back and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's still thinking it's in there and that nobody's found the key. Carolyn, a little different, didn't do as great as job, but it's back in there and we'll go from there. We'll find out, I'm sure, in the upcoming episodes. And then, of course, what happened with Brandon and Maddie, seeing him do it all with the key, and like he just exposes it and ends up having to use it. So that's sort of cool. 3 different ways it's gone down.
My only hope is that Danny put in the fake one, and then re-hid the key for somebody else to find.
You got to
it.
assume. I mean, there is a scene on next time on Survivor. He's eating a piece of parchment paper. So my guess is I think what's the only thing is, like, when you find an idol, there is usually the parchment paper
Yes,
with it.
yeah,
so
exactly.
won't these people, to successfully pull it off, give the real parchment idol with the fake one,
You should.
right?
Yeah.
And hopefully that's what he did.
Right.
And then hide the key. And then just
Right.
like somebody will like, that's almost like not even, that really sucks. Like if somebody finds this key, they
Right.
open this cage,
Yes.
it says this is a real idol,
Right.
but the damn thing isn't. How would you like,
That's why it's so great.
oh, Jesus.
And then they go to play it. But Jeff, I found it in the cage. I found
Look at the piece
it.
of paper. Yeah.
I hope that's what
Oh my
happens.
God. And then Danny's going to have to poop out the fake parchment that he just ate. And we're going to have to like, Carolyn's going to have to go through that. Holy-
Well, on the parchment, though, doesn't it say this idol is real, this one is fake?
right.
does.
Yes, it does.
does.
That's the thing. But if you put the fake one in there with no parchment, there's still like
It is in a cage.
it's in a cage
in
with
a
a
cage.
key. There is like
Yeah.
this must be something. It must be something. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
You would hide the key again, though, so that somebody else could find it?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Because if it's just hanging there all the time, they'll think nobody has the idol. Like, if you keep the key, nobody will ever open that.
Oh, that's good. That's a good point.
And people will just be like, oh, guess we're never getting this idol. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's another
no.
way to go.
Yeah. But then it takes away it's somebody found it and now no one's looking at me, or you know what I mean? Like
I was going to
no
say,
one's
you
looking
could
for
argue
it.
hiding the key, somebody else finding it, Danny going, oh, well, now we got to get rid of Josh. He's got the
Right.
idol. And
Totally.
it puts a
Yeah,
target
yeah,
on
that's-
him.
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. I feel like Danny's going to play it that way, too. Like, the whole...
Yeah.
He seems like into this game enough that he's like, oh, yeah, let's have some fun with this. Like,
This was an
Exactly.
awesome episode for him. Finding it, he was very playful, like, I don't know, coming in as a firefighter, and they're asking him to be the fire maker. It seemed like he was going to kind of play the provider role
Right.
for his tribe, but he was just kind of like a silly Cody last night, which
Yep.
I was happy to see.
Yep.
let's go to Tika. Again, day 4 stuff here. First off, Nora was watching this with me. She goes, what are they doing? They're going through Bruce's old stuff. He doesn't get to they don't send that back to him? I was like, yeah, I guess.
Like free stuff.
like, oh, awesome.
Hey man, if I know Bruce and I feel like I know him,
Yeah, you do.
He'd be like,
He'd want you to have that stuff.
leave all my stuff. Let them have it. Let Carolyn caress my belt lovingly. Like, oh, this is the nicest belt I've ever.
Face belt.
What was that? What, like, not even break the top 10 strange things she did on this.
No,
episode,
this
but
was.
It was great.
Maybe Bruce is like, well, Probe said I'm coming back. Just keep my stuff out there. Just leave it.
You just bury my stuff, please.
Put it in the cage.
Lock it up.
It's his locker now. It's Bruce's locker.
That's right.
So they get into a whole bunch of Birdcage key talk, and they all decide, let's just go search for this damn thing. Let's do it together.
For fun, Yam Yam says. For fun.
They are fun. They are bored.
It's true.
And Carolyn climbs a tree, and this is where we get the snake, which looked like a legit snake. I gotta be honest. This
That was a big
not
snake.
a tiny snake,
Yeah.
and she was very high in that tree.
Yeah.
You know where they hide idols usually.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Very out of the way. I would be scared. I would 100% be
To
scared
reach
if
in
I.
and touch a snake?
Yeah, I mean, you're sticking your hand in how many holes
Yeah.
when you're out there searching for the idol, and then finally there actually is a snake? That would be terrifying.
Yeah. Well, she then ultimately, after we get the hilarious story of finding her son's tooth by going through his poop for 3 days, she finds the key. And we're off and running with this. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She panics. I mean, she's trying to do it obviously in a sneaky way.
Yes.
Like they edited it like the four were walking away, and then she like hung back, I guess, in a weird way. I mean, who knows how they're editing it, but that's the one part. It must have been cut together strange because it's like. Once they all do the like, oh, Helen's got her arm crossed, must be her. Oh, I don't know
Right.
about him,
Yeah,
must
yeah.
be him. Oh, must be him. It's like, well, the way we saw it as a viewer is like, well, who wasn't with us for a second?
Right.
Like, it was her. It was Carolyn.
And Carolyn wasn't there for that part either, come to think of it, right? Or
Yeah,
was
when
she?
they're all around the.
When they're looking through their bags and going, or
Yeah.
was she?
I don't know.
I don't remember, but I'm still hung up on the poop. I want to know the logistics of the whole thing. Like, how are you collecting it? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really want to.
I don't want. I don't want to know, but I really do want to know as well. Like, what do you like?
I think it's like one of those things you use for a fish tank,
Oh, interesting.
you know? Like a fish tank net. You reach down in there, scoop it up.
So so the kid goes in the toilet
Yep.
and tells her, and then she's got to come and get
Didn't
it.
feel like there was any teeth in that one, Mom.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, she's terrified when she opens the cage. She's got this all the goodies in the bag. She does sort of panic and then is like, "Damn, I gotta put this back," and rushes to do so. I don't really realize. I don't know what she put back in there. What bet went back in the bag?
Nothing. I don't think.
It's just complete air.
Well,
that
I
she
think
left
that's
open.
why it was so like flaccid, being like just loose there, like
Right.
hanging there, and it was partly open.
So she didn't put the fake one back in. She kept that.
I don't know. But she didn't do a very good job of
No.
whatever. But it looked to me like it was empty. It was
It
just an
seemed
empty
empty.
bag.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
But she was panicked.
Yeah.
It was intense. It's got to be intense.
The way they shot it too, I thought they were gonna like walk back and the bag was gonna be swinging
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
birdcage. They're all looking around like all crazy.
No, it was a great edit on this episode in general, I thought.
But then Carson says, "Well, I read a book, you know, about picking up people's tells and stuff when they're lying." And Helen's got her arms crossed. It's definitely her.
Right.
That messed with this and maybe has the idol. And then Jam Jam suspects Sarah. Sarah thinks it's Jam Jam. And then eventually, yeah, Carolyn comes over and I thought did a really poor job of like playing dumb, I guess.
Did she though? I mean, she's got so many, effusive mannerisms and almost tick-like. You know what
Didn't
I mean?
that go away though when she was being a little interrogated? I
but I don't know. Like, she's so hard to read. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Like, she cries on the drop of a hat. Like,
Yeah.
so her sort of inherent strangeness actually is almost an advantage in this, right? Because
Yeah.
she's just like, I can't tell if she's lying or if she's just being Carolyn right now.
I also
So-
wonder if they're just like, there's no way she found the key, managed to get this open while we were gone, put something back.
Totally. huge, like she's being underestimated for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
She's a real alligator right now.
She really is.
Under the radar.
She is.
Totally.
Yeah, I saw a Peridium tweet. The new Survivor meta is to just be such a hot mess that everyone else on your tribe overlooks your hot mess because that's just who you are as a person,
Yep.
and they're accepting of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
true.
I mean, the last 2 winners it's worked for.
Yep.
Yeah, in Gabler and Marianne, is that the last 2? Yeah. It's a part of the game right now for sure, this idea of like, I'm not like so calculating and like thinking all the pieces through. I'm just living out here. I'm just
Unassuming,
doing my own
having
thing.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was cast because I was an interesting character, not because I was a game bot. And
Right.
it
Yeah.
seems to be working.
Yeah.
But let's give her credit because she did find
Yeah.
the key. She did
Yeah.
get away with opening it, getting the idol, putting it back. I mean, she didn't do a great job with that, but I mean, and then she got away with it. Everybody was pointing fingers at everybody else.
Yeah.
Spider-Man meme, pun intended, because that guy's Peter Parker, Carson.
Yeah.
And she's just there going, oh, ooh, ah. Who could have taken it? And they're buying it. So
You make a good point.
She's like, was that me? Could that have been me? Did I do that by accident? Maybe I did in my sleep. And they're like, okay, it's definitely not her. No, you're right though. She has a really good like. She even like later on we'll get to it like she brings up a good point of like why aren't they saying it's all me? Like
Right.
why aren't they just like put all the votes on myself? She's saying this.
Yeah.
And it's like oh damn, like she's well aware of the game Survivor, but like her mannerisms and
Totally.
how zany she is.
yeah, Peter Parker
Makes you
comes
go-
up to her and says, I'm with you. And she's like, why? Why would you be?
Sort of, but she also dropped to the ground.
Yeah,
Said,
exactly.
I'm not normal, got back up. Like, it's like, it is crazy. It's so entertaining.
Oh, totally.
I mean, she's like one of the best characters already. We've only seen 3 hours of television of her, and she's already like on the Mount Rushmore of like most memorable Survivor characters ever.
Goddamn superstar.
Yeah. Okay, day 5, immunity / reward challenge. I did like Heidi and Carson giving the sword and shield back to Sir Jeff.
The Neil and
Yes, that was great. I feel like that's gonna happen a lot.
The sword is killing me right now. I think it's so funny. They even did the unsheathing when somebody pulled it out of their belt.
Yeah.
They win the challenge and they're like holding it. And
Oh yeah,
celebrating
they're like
it.
Thundercats.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But then you get the shield and you're like,
Yeah, it's not as cool. Not as cool.
Yeah.
They're playing for fishing equipment. That's what Probe says here. So, a strange little part of this, right before we get into the actual challenge itself, Claire decides to sit out, and Probe's like calls her on it. Like, what? Really? Again? And doesn't he ask even like? Does he ask for like specifically like your
decision or the tribal
And she
decision?
says both.
A little bit of both. Okay.
So what's Claire doing here? She's the new Sandra. Everybody's saying, just sit out. It's never your fault then.
Yes. I don't know. I get the Sandra comparison, and sure, why not? Like, save your energy. Don't be to blame if things go wrong. You know, all of that. But also, you came all this way. You're in Fiji. Like, didn't you come to play Survivor? Like,
She came to win Survivor.
yeah, but don't you
No, I'm
want
just
to
kidding.
Don't you want to do the challenge? Like, I thought that challenge was kind of cool too. I love that little bridge mechanism thing where you have to hold up the bridge and then the little thing.
Yeah, I
comes
will
out
say it
and-
did like she also looks like an athletic,
Yeah.
like a totally capable person to like do really well in these challenges. So that part's strange. And you're right, it's not like this one you're like, oh man, I'm gonna kill our tribe's chances of
Yeah.
winning this. Like she wouldn't have at all. Like,
Exactly.
run a little bit of an obstacle course. And then
help
you don't
lift
even
a
have to
ladder,
do
and
the
then
maze
that's
thing
it.
at the end. Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe she's waiting for the one challenge that she built in her backyard. And she's just sitting out until that one comes out.
Yeah, which one?
built the wrong one.
No, she's like, hey, Jeff, are we doing the one where we build towers with our feet? No? Yeah, that's the only one I know.
All right, call me back.
I'll sit out. There's a reason they kept this in here, though.
Yes.
And that's like, I can't wait to see why. Like, either her galaxy brain thinking or the tribe going, what the hell? Why did she do nothing?
Right.
I don't know. Something's coming, but yeah, it's a fun little moment. Any thoughts from the actual challenge itself with Matthew winning it for Ratu, the Orange Tribe, and we learn, of course, he built this whole replica in his backyard.
Yeah, I thought that was good stuff from him. I practice works, apparently.
Yep.
I also, just like Carson said, would not have revealed that I built a gigantic thing and have been practicing this hard for the game. Especially, I mean, like, Matthew to me is going to be a classic case of an early game flameout. Like, he did a shot in the dark on the very first tribal council, which a fair enough move, but you could also save it for later. Mm-hmm. He almost killed himself falling off of a rock.
Yep.
He went super hard in this challenge to try and win it, and then bragged about how he won it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he is out here to play hard, and like we're saying, that doesn't always work out. My other takeaway from this was I was worried for Josh because he was not doing so well.
Yeah.
No.
But he came back, and also he was wearing a belt. I feel like I don't see a lot of people wearing belts. He was wearing a belted pair of shorts. Wow. I'm like, that's a good idea, actually, because if you go deep into the game, your waistline's going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a baggy boy out there with your bun showing.
I was getting a little concerned about our guy Josh, who we haven't heard basically from at all. And I was like, oh no, is he going to blow this and then maybe go home and we're not even going to get a chance to know him? No, in the end, that was Helen. We didn't know all that much either, but he pulled it off. He figured it out, and that's why it must, like, did Matthew just rip through that thing, like, once, and it never fell?
I mean, I scrubbed through it a second time, and I didn't see it. They would show it if it fell.
Probably.
And I don't think they showed him. So just one time. And like you said, practice works. He built it in his backyard. I mean, it's incredible.
Just don't tell everybody.
Yeah.
But that's like almost, if you think about like the lengths you're going,
Yeah.
proving that you're such a diehard Survivor fan, like hell, it might be a reason he's on the show.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, I went against doctor's orders.
Exactly.
And I did this, and I killed it because I've built this. Like, it's all, I guess my point, it's tough almost not to brag about that to Jeff Probst.
Right.
When you just won.
And everybody, because I guess technically you're building a resume, right? You're like, I want this so bad. I mean, it seems early. Like, we never talk about resume building this early in the game, but maybe that's why he was doing it. And Trey, you said that you thought that Matthew would be an early flameout last week, and I kind of disagreed, but I think I'm starting to agree, because that was two blunders right there. I mean, it was awesome that he won, and like, you know, he won that challenge for his tribe. But yeah, saying
he just has to go, yeah, I thought I'd be good at this. I got a little lucky. Just he's down, play down.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I got lucky. I just got a feel for it early. I don't know, Jeff. You know, whatever. Yeah, but don't say I built one in my backyard, and don't say, especially, I mean, I thought that when he came into the last challenge, he purposely didn't wear his sling, so he wouldn't reveal to the other teams that he was, injured.
Yeah.
And then he sat out, but still, he wasn't in a sling, and now he's like, well.
He told everybody.
He's injured, and I still killed this challenge, so why don't you just vote me out now, guys? Just vote me out now, or give me $1 million, one or the other.
Yeah. Well, we took a commercial break, and then when we came back, because Tika, the purple tribe, lost, Josh and Soca, the green tribe, did come in second, so good job by them. We go right to something similar where Carson is telling us what felt like already for the 8th time this season that has 3D prints of these puzzles, and he practices this, and he is like this sort of boy genius here, and he's a rocket scientist or becoming one, and we get like all these shots of his 3D printer and all the puzzles, because he's realized, well, this is what they do. You reuse a lot of these especially these 3D puzzles that build the tree, build the bat, whatever, and he's just made smaller versions of it. But he hasn't told anyone that, and it doesn't feel like he's going to.
No.
So that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Don't brag about that.
Yeah, the thing that sucks now, though, is that if we ever get cast on Survivor, I guess we got to get 3D printers. Like, there's another step to this.
Well, we did find out before we went live on here. We were like, how much does that thing cost? Now, we don't know. I mean, sure, there's different makes of these. Yeah. But what was the cheapest one on Amazon?
Bestseller on
$200?
Amazon's like $190 right now.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's levels. You can also get a $2,500 one.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know.
That's what you get if you win your first season of Survivor. Then you get the real nice 3D printer for Winners at War.
I don't even know how they work. Like,
a 3D printer?
Explain to me how it works.
No, I'm not going to sit here and explain how it works. No.
I know that it builds shit in 3D.
Yeah.
But out of what, man?
plastic, right?
I guess.
Yeah, like heated plastic is how it's being formed, I assume. I don't know.
Nobody knows how they work.
I'm not a rocket scientist. Am I a rocket scientist? Always wanted to say that, where it actually made sense. So we got to the plotting and scheming here. We're with Tika. We're with the Purple Tribe. And we thought last week, Sarah, Carson, Helen, they're a trio. And in this episode early on, it was like, yep, they are. They tell Jam Jam, we got to vote for Carolyn. And he immediately goes and tells her, like he just
Screaming into the woods.
he's literally yelling her name, I think. And so he's like, this is what they want to do. I don't want to do that. I want to be with you. And then Carson wanders up, and he's like, no, I'm actually with you. And that's when we
And she collapses.
get her collapsing. And her bullshit radar goes off a little bit, but obviously in the end, as we learn, they did all vote together. And Sarah voted. Or Sarah didn't have a vote, excuse me.
Yep.
Sarah didn't have a vote, so she gets her vote back now. But yeah, what do you think of Carson's decision here? I guess is one way to ask this. Him going with the older people. Carolyn and Jam Jam are 35 and 36, but they are the older people on this tribe. My God. Instead of going with the younger crew there, which he did seem to have a bit of a bond with. Were you surprised? Do you think you made the right move?
Rob's podcast, I thought, was pretty smart on this because it feels like there's something missing. Like, why? Why did he switch over to go with Carolyn and Jam Jam? Is it just because they seem maybe like they're just there to have fun compared to Helen and Sarah are obviously playing the game as those three were plotting and scheming all together? Did Carson somehow find out that Sarah wasn't going to have a vote?
Yeah.
So then he's like, I don't want to go into a scenario where it's a 2-2 tie. Suddenly we're all drawing rocks and I'm going home randomly.
No thanks.
Nobody wants to do that. There are a couple of reasons why it could have happened, but nothing that was really in the show besides Helen standing like this.
Yeah.
With her arms crossed.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So I don't know.
And them picking, picking, or him along with his new tribe alliance there of Jam Jam and Carolyn picking Helen over Sarah, I guess.
Right.
Carson must feel tighter with Sarah than Helen.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, is it possible? Do we learn that he knows about the idol?
I mean, he was so wrong about the arms being crossed. I don't see how he could have figured it out, but you never know. They might have said something. I don't know. I mean, yeah. You're right, though. It does feel like there's something missing, and on the surface, it seems like, again, Helen and Sarah, they're to play the game, and Jam Jam and Carolyn they're more about, seem to be on the surface. I don't think this is true, but on the surface, as you say, like they're just sort of there to have a good time.
Having a great experience.
They're a little easier to read, maybe, from his perspective, he thinks. So maybe that's why he picked them. But I don't think it's a terrible idea, because if it's him and two women, he may, from his perspective, think that, well, I'm probably on the bottom here, and I'd be the first to be cut if they decided to blindside me. I don't know.
Guess you could say the same thing. He's now with two older people, and they could be the ones that pair up and cut him. We'll find out. Because that tribal council, which is night 5 here, Carolyn breaks down in tears. She's very emotional. What? Yeah. But I did think it was a sweet moment with Jam Jam, like saying, this is her. But in a good way. Like,
was he serious? Was he sincere, you think?
Yeah, I thought he was. He came off sincere.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. I thought it was like very sincere in the fact, like, look, she's a little crazy,
right?
And I love it.
Yeah.
I love her for it, and she's like true to herself and stuff like that. I read sincere, to me. It is wild to watch somebody on your television screen and you're seeing their brain. It feels like work in real time,
right? Because
she doesn't hide anything. It's like you can see, because of her facial reactions, like her thoughts,
right?
Does that make sense? Like, it's
100%. She's so reactive. Like, she's so. It feels like you know exactly where she's coming from, or at least how she's reacting to whatever it is you're saying at that given moment. But I don't think that that's necessarily true. I also think that the edit is definitely playing those moments up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we are getting so many like close-up shots of her and her amazing facial reactions. But
I mean, they're
There's
great.
a lot of them.
As an editor, like, it's hard not to go to that stuff. Like, you want that. It's gold, right?
Yeah.
Like, it helps to tell the story. But I don't think that's what it's like to be with her 24 hours a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that Jam, I agree with you. I think that he is being sincere and just like, I like this woman. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and she's just fun to be around. You know?
Well, like Rob said on the podcast too, is like Jam on basically any other tribe in Survivor history, he's the quirky one.
Right.
He's the funny one.
Totally.
The fan favorite. Not that he isn't as well, but like he is the one that sticks out more than the GameBot type people. But
Right.
he's like he don't even come close.
Yeah.
With Carolyn on his
No,
tribe,
not
and
even.
so maybe there's like even in his head like some sort of like shield variation
Maybe.
there in a strange way. But Carolyn doesn't play her idol. That's the real drama going here. It's like, is she or is she not? Did Brandon did in week 1 or episode 1? She doesn't, and Helen is voted out 3-1 because Sarah, did not have her vote. And then we see Carolyn and Jam like basically skipping and dancing their way out of tribal
Yeah, I
counts. You see
noticed
that
that.
shot?
Yeah,
Where they're
yeah.
going down that little board, and
that's
they're
great.
at the back, and they are just...
High
They're
fiving,
ecstatic.
and singing and dancing. It's great to see. It's great to see.
Yeah, I mean, if it's such an early part of the game, but if those two and Carson can stick together,
Yeah.
like, that's an unassuming
Yes.
big power three if they go together. Because, like we're saying, at the very least, you know that Jam and... I've lost my train of thought here. Carolyn are charismatic. Like,
Yes.
they're at least charismatic for sure. Carson seems to have the game on lockdown. And Carolyn as well is a player. Well, we've yet to see with Jam, but people aren't going to be thinking that. They're going to be thinking 2 old people and the youngest guy.
Right.
That's not necessarily
Yeah.
who you're worried about going forward. And if not, hopefully at least Carolyn gets to the jury, because watching her on the jury will be hilarious.
Yeah. I also have just a strange prediction when it comes to this sort of trio that you're saying here that could do some damage, go far. I feel like we're getting so many little pieces that Carson is eventually going to backstab Carolyn, and it's going to be heartbreaking.
Ooh, yeah.
We're getting like this, like
a
a
mother-son
little
type of
mother-son.
thing. Yeah.
You're a cute guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was that in episode 1. There's them coming together and her like literally like falling to the ground. She's over the moon that he is elected to go with them.
Yeah.
And I just like, oh man, I don't know. My gut just says it's gonna be heartbreaking. Hey, I hope it's the other way around. I hope it's Carolyn maybe screwing him.
Right.
But something somewhere down the road here, if they're all still together, I feel like he'll be the one that takes that knife and sticks it in her back. She puts up the shield though. Oh, and then we're into a
Back
battle.
shield, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my gut.
I mean, in the last episode, she was so distraught, really, that nobody was talking to her. And then it seems like her favorite guy is coming to her and saying, I want to be with you. And it's just like the relief she must have felt.
Yeah.
Well, we saw it because she collapsed in a heap, right? Like,
Yeah.
And I think that was real.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts from episode 2? From your notes or takeaways or predictions? We'll eventually get to Tree Mill here, but
Yeah, it's a great episode. Carolyn, again, as you said, like she's a fast superstar, like an unforgettable character, and it's great. And like you said, Trey, like or I guess Rob was referring to Jam. Also, love the guy, but being overshadowed, like it's crazy. It's crazy that such a big character is getting overshadowed by a behemoth of a character. It's just incredible.
and this was a tribe that had Bruce on it. Probe's favorite character,
All-time
player
favorite
of all
survivor.
time. Yeah, Jesus.
I mean, Bruce is a legend because here's a guy that was medevaced and that we're still talking about. A week later, that never happened. It's never happened.
fair. He left his stuff.
I mean, we're talking more about Bruce than Helen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's.
She kind of got done dirty,
yeah.
I think. There was
Yeah.
hardly any Helen in this episode or in the last episode, and the question you're left with when it's over is like, Helen? Why Helen?
Yeah.
So I think that was, it seemed like they were focusing more so on the players who are going to be going forward than the people who got voted out right away.
All right. Well, let's take our first break, and when we come back, we'll get into Tree Mail. There's one great question about what's going on in the voting booth up there in Tribal Council. Yeah, Carolyn took note. We'll get to that and a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere.
You guys want to know something that's real that sucks?
Uh-huh.
University of North Carolina is on the verge of becoming the first preseason #1 team to miss the tournament in men's college basketball history. They went to the NCAA championship game last season. They brought back a ton of vets. They recreated an old Sports Illustrated cover. Then they lost a ton of games, including twice to Duke. Unless they do well in the ACC tournament next week, it's over for UNC.
Shocking.
That's real. It sucks. You want to know something that's real and doesn't suck?
Hit me.
Neutral.
Hello.
Neutral vodka seltzer has arrived, made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Real good. So good you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. After Neutral's light and refreshing taste shows you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral vodka seltzer in a variety of real flute flavors.
It's hard to say.
Real fruit flavors.
Nice.
All right.
Try again.
We got real fruit flavors.
Nailed it.
Not flute favors. That's when you let your friend play the flute. This line doesn't make sense anymore. Lemonheads and crayon hunters rejoice. If you're a big fruit head, this is the place to be.
Absolutely.
Neutral is the way to go. Check them out on Instagram at NUTRL. Find Neutral in stores at your favorite bar or learn more at neutralusa.com, NUTRLusa.com. Try Neutral. It's the one with the umlaut.
By the way, I forgot to pass on this note I got from the Neutral people. Real vodka too.
Oh,
They're like, hey JD, could you also say there's real vodka in it, not just real fruit? Like, oh, I didn't know that.
Is the umlaut real?
The umlaut is real.
Okay.
The fruit is real. The vodka. It's real because some of these drinks they don't even have vodka at all in them. They're
Okay,
just
that's
like
weird.
whatever,
Yeah,
grain
real.
alcohol, whatever. So
Everything's real. All right, if you're joining us live here on YouTube, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. And we got some great questions by way of Twitter at NoDunksInc. That's INC on the end. So let's get into some tree mail. Yeah, keep those questions coming. First one. He's a long-time listener / viewer of No Buffs. It's Doug G. Doug with a fun question.
Dougie.
What is the % chance that there's an advantage / idol in the voting booth at Tribal Council? There were some lingering shots of that chessboard, along with Carolyn talking about how many pieces there were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you noticed that as well, JD. You were going crazy.
Right
What
before the
What is
show.
this shot? You said.
It's right there on screen. There's a bag next to the shot in the dark box or whatever.
Right.
There's an advantage in there. There has to be. Unless she just brought her advantage up there and left it there by accident, which I wouldn't put it past her, but, you know, they made a big point of, well, you never see that. I mean, we saw Kane go, wow, this is sick, this is cool, or whatever he said. But she was like, she made a big production. There's so many pieces, blah, blah, blah.
It's like a haunted house.
It's like a haunted house in here. And she's talking all the... I wonder how many people are looking at you while you... Is there anybody up there? Like, there must be, because somebody has to put you've lost your vote this week.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask
Parchment
Tyson.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, that bag, there's an advantage in there, right? And then there has to be.
Well, we were thinking maybe it was something to do with the chess pieces. Is it?
Yeah, but, you know, but they're not going to...
Where do the shot in the dark die live? Like, on a day-to-day basis? You're not carrying them in your pocket, right?
Yeah, you are.
You are? You gotta
think
keep that
you
on
are.
you at all times?
Yeah, because remember...
Stressful.
Oh, actually, to be honest, I don't know.
We might die?
I think it's in your little package, your welcome package.
Okay,
Your little, you know, your nice bag that you get. The bags are nice, right?
The bags are nice.
They do seem nice.
They're nice.
I don't know if they have internal pockets, but roomy at the very
Roomy,
least.
yeah. All your stuff in there, including your shot in the dark, because somebody was fiddling with it, right?
Yeah, we have seen people handling it. Not at
But
Tribal
hold
Council.
on. Okay, people. Paul is saying, isn't the bag the shot in the dark scrolls? You put your little die in that little box.
There you go.
And then you reach in and you pull one of your things. And then you go sit down. And then
Is
you
it?
open it.
Put it back up, Ash. Let's see it.
I mean,
I
See
don't
if we
know.
can see
Like,
him through the top
nope.
here.
There you go. Oh, there we go. Okay.
See, I was thinking maybe it's the die, but it could be the scrolls.
What's the box then? That sort
you
of
put the little,
You put the thing
put the
in.
die in top. It's
you
just,
put it in the top, and then
I
you
think
pull
so.
out the.
The scroll?
I mean, it seems elaborate. You're right, but I look. Hey,
Why is this shot in the show? Period. Right? It's a
Yes,
weird
that's
angle.
the question.
You know, it does look kind of cool with the chess pieces and stuff, but there's clearly a bag there, and it looks like the bag that's hanging from in the birdcage.
It's well,
It
very
looks the
similar,
exact same,
no
for
doubt.
sure.
I think, Doug, you are close. I do think it's something with this chessboard. What if we had something this elaborate? There's something with these pieces.
I thought she was going to find something when she said it. Just the fact that she said it. But has anybody started messing with them yet?
Not really.
How would you not?
Yeah, moving them around. Are they glued
I think I've
down?
won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if back season 1, Greg, I feel like he would like make a move every time he was up
Like,
there.
are we not later in this season gonna get like somebody's gonna find the parchment in the jungle and it's gonna be like a poem, or they're all given it and it's gonna be like something about like when the rook takes the knight and the knight takes the castle. You know, it's like, whatever. It's gonna be some weird chess analogy, and then somebody's gonna be like, oh, and like maybe that's the hint.
Maybe.
You got to dig deep.
And so then when Probst goes, everybody ready to vote? I was like, yeah, I'll go first. I'll race out there. We're just praying there's some sort of advantage
Better be.
or idol at one of these tribal councils. They've done it before on other versions of Survivor, not the American version. It's never happened there. We did see, who was it that tried to play the podium? Adam, thank you, in
yeah.
Winners at War. Yeah, back in season 40. Okay, next one here. David, I guess, wrote in, I watch with my parents and they both are put off by Carolyn, but I absolutely love her character. Who is someone you like, but most people don't? So I don't know if you want to stay in the Survivor world or go with any other celebrity or someone else.
I
you
went
know?
outside of the Survivor world. And this was actually a hard question because if you Google, like, most hated people on Earth or most unlikable people on Earth, it's exactly who you would expect.
Right.
So you got to dig a little bit deeper, and that's why I found 54 of the most hated celebriries of all time
Okay.
on IMDb.
Okay.
Scrolling through, the one that really stuck out to me is Pauly Shore.
Really?
Yeah.
Pauly Shore's
It's Pauly Shore. You know, he's got a weird delivery. Hasn't made a banger for a long time. But Encino Man, son-in-law, jury duty, biodome within
yeah.
like 3 years.
Yeah.
What a career Pauly Shore has had.
Okay. So you like him.
I like Pauly Shore. I really like biodome. I really like biodome specifically. But also, I haven't like thought about Pauly Shore in 20 years easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe it's sort of enough time has passed where people are like, he's fine. He's harmless.
Like, why were we hating on Pauly Shore in the 90s?
Was Stephen Baldwin,
Oh, yeah.
he was in Biodome?
Yep, that's right.
What about you? Do you have an answer to this?
I mean, I love Carolyn like that. Like, I feel like I'm, so I guess that's my answer. I don't know. I like a lot of people. I like most people, I guess.
That other people hate or don't like, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know who people hate. I don't really pay attention to that stuff.
I thought you were going to go with Russell.
Oh, Russell Hantz?
Yeah, because you always go to bat for Russell Hantz.
100%.
Obviously think he's a great
Still should
player.
have won his season.
And most people do hate him. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just not a likable guy.
Yes, he is quite unlikable. I still think he should have won, but the fact that he didn't win and the way in which he didn't win completely changed how I would ever try and play Survivor. I think Natalie winning that season, that's how you should play, probably.
Right.
Next one here from Zachary. Do you believe that Survivor will change up their puzzles in the future to avoid people copying Carson and designing replica puzzles? Is this a real concern at all?
I mean, is it a concern? I mean, I guess sort of. I mean, Evie was the first one recently that was like she did the.
She bought something off Etsy.
They did the. It was the actually Peter Parker was holding it up as well. It was the balls one, like the pyramid of balls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Evie solved that within 2 seconds, right? And it was because she either bought a version of it or she made a version of it. Remember? So that was the first time.
I think she bought it. Yeah.
But it was like it made the challenge completely like a non-challenge for like nobody had a chance. Like, They made it so quickly and so easily. So I guess maybe if things start to become not very dramatic,
right?
Matthew did not drop the ball once. He did it, and he did an incredible job. But it was still very entertaining to watch. So I don't think we're gonna see that kind of thing. And that's a
skill too. Not that like learning a puzzle and how to put it together isn't a skill either. But you know what I mean? It's you can practice that.
Yeah.
As weird as it is, because it's like, who's practicing that in their normal lives? He is, because he built it.
Right.
'Cause he's a Survivor diehard. But the puzzle parts, like they have just used the exact same puzzles.
I mean, they say there's a slide puzzle in every season of Survivor.
Yeah,
right.
And that's been going on for a long time.
Right.
People have been talking about, like, you should know how to make fire. You should know how to do a slide puzzle. Like, there is, like, a little checklist of, like, things you should know how to do.
But this time, this slide puzzle literally weighed 5 tons.
Right.
So there was that. So maybe they start modifying them. I don't know. I think me as an audience member, I enjoy seeing the same puzzle. Like, I like the bat, the upside down
Also,
bat.
like, hold on. It's not like this guy's gone and done a bat puzzle.
Has he solved any puzzles?
Well,
yet?
that's what I'm saying. Let's see him get to a bat puzzle or one of these tree puzzles, and you watch. Yeah. I don't want to like wish the guy like for him to fail, but like the opposite could happen.
Right.
It'd be weird because he's practiced it, but there's no concern yet to me. So what? The guy's got a 3D printer, and he made these, but we haven't seen it. Like, he's not killing everything right now. It's not like he's running away with the game because of it. So why is this an issue?
It's a great point. And also, if there is one slight difference in the puzzle that he faces on the actual set of Survivor, that could throw him off completely. So we'll see. I want to know how. That tree looked like the tree.
It sure did.
But we didn't see it apart, and we didn't see him putting it together.
So he just printed it all
maybe
together?
I don't know. Maybe he just printed it to look at it. I don't know. How do you 3D print something like that? Do you?
No, we're not getting into this again.
It's a polymer, man.
No, I get that part, but like, what information are you giving the 3D printer? Like, do you have the schematics for that puzzle? And it's each. Well, that'd be tricky. If you print out the puzzle, but it's not assembled, and it wouldn't be assembled.
Yeah.
I mean, what if you couldn't assemble it? That would be me. That would be me.
Well, JD, I think you've hit on the thing here. You described a large number of steps that go into even getting to practice that.
Right.
You would have to be a 20-year-old nerd who has never gone on a date to do this.
Good point.
It's a great point.
I don't think it's an issue. All right, Comrade Casey. 2 straight episodes of super short tribals. Compared to the live tribals, these are so boring. Your thoughts? Trey, you get us started.
Very short tribals.
They have been
Agree
short.
with that, but also we had, I would say, kind of standard length tribal councils last season, and we were saying these are so boring.
Yes.
So I think when they're boring, let it be a boring short one rather than a boring normal length one, and let's get to the vote and see what happens.
Yeah, you many times on No Bus last year, Trey, were like, that was boring.
They didn't say anything.
Probst forcing an analogy.
Right.
Nobody's saying anything. These players are we just got to talk about. These players are so damn smart.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to tip their hand at all, so they don't give you really anything. So yeah, I'm loving this, Casey.
I couldn't agree more. When it's exciting, let's have a long one.
Yeah,
Let's have a live one. That's fine. But yeah, we complained about this last year. You especially, Trey. Just the talking in circles and the stupid analogies, and it was just like, well, let's stretch. I was thinking that they didn't have enough material because of the shortened game. So I was like, well, I guess all the drama is going to have to come from Tribal Council. And it felt like they were milking it a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, I agree. If it's got to be short, it's got to be short. Fucking just forget. Just welcome to tribal council. It's time to vote. Like, why not, right? But sometimes
The no talk tribal.
right.
Any of you guys ever played chess? All right, next one. Kevin, I'm rewatching the final tribal council for Cochrane's winning season. One of the few clean sweeps in Survivor history. His best response was that his season was all about timing. I'm seeing big fans of Carson and Carolyn, but are they peaking too early? I guess we can maybe include a Matthew. You guys were already addressing. The question, though, is in addition to are those two peaking too early, which they could be, I guess, who is your under-the-radar winner pick?
Right. I think that I think Carolyn or Jam Jam could win. Honestly,
Okay, so they're not under the radar.
Well, why not? And they're unassuming.
Under the radar
People
from
are-
the edit. is
Oh,
what
like people we haven't even met yet.
Yeah, I think that's how I was reading this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question.
It's tough. I mean, there feels
Yeah,
like
it's
there's
just
10 to pick from. Like,
Pick one of them. Pick one of them that we haven't really heard from. I mean, who haven't we heard from?
well, Josh has been the quietest.
yeah, I feel like he
person
had
out
a
there.
bit of a moment in the first episode, but yeah, you're
I
right.
don't think so.
No?
I think he was even like montaged in
Oh, you're right.
confessionals.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like really said anything.
Right.
And nor do we know anything. Now that we don't, outside of the little romance over there and then Danny finding the key, I feel like we don't know a lot. I don't think we know a lot about like Claire as much as we like and Heidi. And
Yeah.
like there's a lot of people, like you could pick a lot of people from that tribe as.
The reason I said
radar.
Josh is because he had the moment in that he had a transplant, right? Right? Like
Yes.
He did
that
have
was
a
the moment.
flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
somehow.
quick
Yep.
flashback.
So, but other than that, you're right. But yeah, I think he had a big win. This tribal count or this immunity challenge was a big win for him, and I was actually shocked that he didn't tap out. So, you know, because it could have been like he seemed to be struggling with it.
Oh, absolutely.
And
But
then-
it's a tough one because it's like, now I tag you in, Trey,
And
it's like, unless you built one of these in your backyard,
Right.
it's like you're going to be back to square one. It's
Yeah.
obviously a learning curve.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little familiar with it. But you're right, at a certain point, because you panic,
Right.
or you're just like, I can't do this. My
Yeah.
mind to my hand to my arm, like it doesn't work that way. But yeah, you're
And
right.
you're on a
He
balance
powered
beam.
through. Yeah, there is that part too, where you got to keep walking back. Under the radar, winner pick from sort of the edit angle where we like don't know a lot about them.
Heidi, I suppose, would
I
be
like
my
that
pick.
pick.
She started fire in week 1, the first episode. She had a couple of scenes kind of where she was basically a supporting character in this episode, but she has not done a whole bunch that's made the show, at least right now. And Sarah, I think, is on the down and outs right now. She's on the bottom of her tribe after Carson flipped,
Yeah.
but she's still got the inheritance advantage. Mm-hmm. She is feeling no repercussions from not having a vote yet. So, I don't know. She seems to be somebody that people aren't gunning for, at the very least, thus far.
Give me a Claire, who is obviously sitting out all these challenges.
How's that under the radar? She's definitely on the radar.
Because she's sitting out, I guess.
and Jeff called her out for it.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
on the radar.
I like though. I love this idea that her whole winning strategy could just be like, I just don't do anything. Because also in this episode, did she not say to somebody like, I'm Captain Lazy or something like that?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
she doesn't want to do anything, which
Yeah.
is hilarious to me. Maybe that'll work out. Okay, I'll go.
It might. I mean, if I'm watching Survive where Erica won, we didn't hear from her at all.
yeah,
until the shillelagh of time.
Yeah. Final one. Tim, what letter would be the most difficult to make with your hands? H seemed kind of hard. Carolyn, for Helen, was making an H, though that she did this.
She did,
She did
looked
it
like
now.
a
Like
W.
she was like, yeah, she needed to really lean into like the perpendicular.
That's a
Yeah,
U though, right?
Well, I'm going with my arms. That's an H.
That's
Oh,
the
arms.
confusing
You gotta
part,
look
is
at my
throwing
arms.
your arms in there.
Yeah, I think that's what she was doing, but then she
She
went like
was.
that, and that's a W. Anyway, what's the most difficult, Trey? You were doing some. You were going through the entire alphabet before this show.
Yep, and I stopped when I got to the hardest one.
Which one?
K.
Oh yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you do it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, that's tough.
That's a tough one. That's like a weird H, an even weirder H.
Yeah.
That's a strange one, man.
All right, if you're,
I'm backwards though, right? So it's got to be.
oh my god, I mean that's a K. Yeah, I guess.
That's the closest to a K, but man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's hard.
Change your name to a name that starts with a K if you go on Survivor.
I'm going by Kirby.
You gotta go by Kirby. You might get a last name treatment from Probes.
Yeah, all my friends call me Curbs.
They would never do that because it's an E, unless you can live with having the I.
Wait, what do you mean K-E?
Yeah, because there's no first name Kirby. I mean, there's probably, but I feel like.
Yeah.
But he's asking for the cock
Like
ring
a
treatment.
penner.
Yeah.
No, yeah, totally.
He's cool enough. Probes might give it to him.
Nah, I don't think so, man.
I think.
We just had a guy go by Gabler.
Yeah.
You're cooler than him?
I'm not a last name guy, though.
No, you're not.
never
Trey's
have
a cool
been.
name, that's why.
Yeah, I'm more of a first name guy.
You're probably a TK. Like I could see Probe saying, TK.
Yeah, but that's one of the easiest ones to make. That's dangerous.
So you don't
Get him out of here.
Right. You don't want.
You don't want a T. I mean, they're all pretty very easy.
Almost too easy,
Too
though.
easy,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
What
like,
would
what are
you
you
think
doing?
that
What
is?
are you chopping?
I was even like Q pretty easy.
Q with this. Q's, I guess.
Lowercase.
Yeah.
Or any uppercase, yeah.
Ooh. There's a lot of letters,
S,
guys.
G.
All right. Fun question from Tim. Look at it. He's going through them all.
Y. That's kind of a V, though.
Oh, yeah.
What else? What else you want to see? Call it a letter. I got it for you.
I think B's tough.
Oh, B's easy. Come on, man.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
get that.
But, like, see, 8. Why are you putting up an 8?
Well, I mean, you could also do this if you wanted to. Multiple B's. I could do them all.
See, that to me doesn't
A
look like
town
a B.
down. C. D. Come on.
Yeah,
E,
D's.
E,
I mean, I'm sure
F
ASL.
is a tough one.
There's ASL for all
What'd
of
you
them.
do for E? You didn't throw up. Oh,
I mean,
you threw up
could.
2.
I
It
did
looked
like that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
We might get
The second
demonetized
one,
if
I
I keep
think, was
flashing
better.
these. I don't know.
Okay, what? You tell us, everybody. What's the hardest letter to make with your hands? Both hands are in play because that's what Helen was doing with the with the H there, or excuse me, Carolyn was doing.
Oh, N is tough.
And sort of tough.
Now that I think about it.
You need almost yeah. See, that's.
N is tough, actually. Surprisingly tough.
I would go like this somehow, but that's not even that good.
Sounds like an N?
No, it looks. No.
N is surprisingly tough. You're on the right path,
Yeah,
though.
backwards.
It's like italics.
Yeah, exactly. I italicized this.
Can we just agree that it was a dumb way to do it?
Yes. Yes.
3, 2, 1, Helen. That's all you do. You just say it out loud.
Yeah.
You're talking anyways.
Or write it in the sand.
Ooh, that's a good idea too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing the I don't want to say a name that could then
Right.
come back to bite me in the ass. So
Yeah.
if we gotta say it at the exact same time or at least
Right.
illustrate it. All right, so make your picks, guys. Hopefully all of you here joining us live, listening, have joined the Make Your Picks Fantasy Survivor pool, specifically to No Buffs. We got some prizes up for grabs to our end of the season winners. I think we're doing top 7 again, giving away some Breaking Tea gift certificates to the store. You can get just Breaking Tea gear, which is a lot of great sports merchandise, or specifically No Dunks merch. And we are thinking about doing a No Buffs shirt or 2 as well. So I would love to know if you're willing to share who you locked in for your team. That's your 5 people. And then how you did, for episode 2 and maybe moving forward, who you got your eye on when it comes to who's going home when it goes to the votes. So who you got? Who you got on your team, JD?
Well,
Oh, JD.
Uh-oh.
You're kidding me. You didn't do it.
I totally forgot.
Oh my
But you know what? I'm just like all of you out there, or some of you procrastinators, some of you absent-minded people, just like me. You forgot, so now it's time to get in because I'm getting in,
Okay.
literally logging in now. So now the challenge, well, I'm going to win the whole thing. That's
Despite missing a week?
Yeah.
I
1
doubt
week?
that.
What number are you at?
I'm in 300th spot.
50. Get out of here. I finished top 100 last time.
And you did.
So, you know what? Join up. And if I don't, listen, I'm going to be in the top 100 again. But if you're joining this week, like me, the challenge is to beat me.
Okay, there you
Okay,
go. All right,
okay.
all right.
Nice.
So
That's actually
it
good.
isn't too late to get in. You're at a
Yeah.
disadvantage now, playing a week behind, but you can still obviously get the points. So make your team.
Yeah,
and-
I did this on purpose.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know you picked your team in advance.
I 3D printed every
Nice.
contestant, lined them up to see who I liked the most, and ended up with Heidi, Sarah, Claire, Lauren, and Carson
Okay.
on my team. And then I went out and I picked 3 potential votes last night: Danny, Carolyn, and Brandon. 0 votes. So I didn't get a lot of points.
right.
I think I'm like 847 now out of 874 out of 1,000 plus. So I'm not doing very well. But I don't know. I actually don't know who I think's gonna go home next week either. But
So I have some overlap with you. Say your team again. You said Heidi and Sarah, right?
Heidi, Sarah,
I got both of them.
Claire,
I got her as well.
Lauren,
I have her
Okay.
too.
Carson.
No, I've got our girl Carolyn.
Yes.
Ooh.
You must have
And,
got mad points.
Got some points from
yesterday.
Carolyn
She's
last
a good
night.
point getter.
Yeah, got some points. So that's why I guess I'm a little higher. But wow, we got a lot of the same picks. I have all 5 women. Now you can. There is an option that you can swap one out.
Yeah.
You know, you're playing your gems and stuff like that. I didn't have any luck to call in who went home last week. I'll tell you that.
Same.
I went
quick
with
vote.
Matt, Kane, and I went Brandon. And so none of them even
Those were
went to
good.
tribal council.
You know what? Those were good picks based on what you knew.
That's the
last
thing. They
week.
got to
Yeah.
go to tribal council for them to
Exactly.
go home, generally.
Yeah.
But who you looking at as we talk about next time on Survivor? Let me give it to you. For the final time, I wrote Zane, but his name is Kane. We see him with a sword, and he's doing some more sword work, TK. I think he says he wants to be a hero, too,
He does
if I
say he
wrote
wants
down
to be
that
a hero.
correctly.
Yep.
Matthew says he is he says he came in never with the idea to play an honest game. But he's just like a little bit more of him, this ruthlessness. This guy is a player. The non-Lovebird Socas, so not Matt or Frannie,
Right.
we get an idea that maybe they're teaming up. They put all their hands in a quick scene there.
Okay.
Maybe they're going to target them. And then Danny eats a piece of paper.
Right.
Possibly a gift receipt.
Maybe you really like the gift that Jeff Probst gave him.
Yep.
Ate
So
the receipt right up.
so yeah, from all of that, who are you targeting next week here, TK?
I kind of wonder if one of the Lovebirds should be in the crosshairs here.
Yeah.
I thought so too, but then they always do this to us. They make us think that, and it never happens. So I actually think the
also true.
opposite.
That's also true. I don't know. The only guy I have selected right now is Matthew.
Okay.
It just feels like he's playing a very high stakes game to me right now, living on the edge of playing a little bit too hard. So perhaps that could put a target on his back. But I don't know. This early in the game, I like to go for one from each tribe. So he'll be my Ratu.
Okay.
I'll probably toss one on either Matt or Frannie, even though that'll be wrong. So that'll be my green guy.
Okay.
And I mean, Sarah is on the bottom
Yeah.
of her
I
tribe.
picked Sarah.
So even if she gets voted out and hurts my team, at least I'll get some points there. I think that's gonna be my vote for now.
I would pick Sarah, Matthew, and I guess Kane. Those are the 3 most likely in my mind.
Kane is a good one. Yeah.
I went Kane, Sarah, and then I went complete wild card, and his last name's Wilder. I went Josh.
Interesting.
I am convinced it's not going to be Matt and Frannie, so I'm like, I got to pick somebody else from Green. I just went with him. Who Sarah has what now? What advantage does she have? Does she have this crazy one where
She's
she
got
can
the inheritance.
inheritance
Yeah.
advantage? Right. Okay. Probably. Well, you never know. Is it? Do people?
Well,
Does
She
Carol-
has to play it right, and she has to figure out that Carolyn has
I'm gonna play it.
and play it. And she would be the hardest. She's never gonna figure out that she has it unless she tells everybody.
Yeah, which I think is still a possibility that Carson knows.
Carson knows that Carolyn has it.
I think it's possible.
possible.
I think it's possible that we just didn't see that in the episode
Yeah.
because they wanted us
She
to
could have-
think, oh, it could be her going home, or is she going to play it?
She literally could have blurted it out as she was collapsing. Like, oh, you want to be with me?
Yes.
Great, because I have the immunity idol. I found it in the cage.
Maybe she's like, I, D, O, L. Possible. Okay, so good luck to everybody. Make your picks. get the app. It's available on Apple and Android. We will be one of the featured pools there. You'll see it. I believe Rob, as a podcast, has a pool going as well. Get in both. Why not? Try and be the ultimate survivor. I think somebody could win both of them. Be iconic.
If you win both of them, Jeff Probst should call you immediately.
And you get to go on season 45. I like that.
You're great. That's great stuff.
But it is a lot of fun, and there's a lot more you can do with it too. And we'll get into it in the coming weeks in terms of playing advantages and the gems and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun, and they've done a great job. They've done a lot of updates since last year when they first started this. So
Really good.
Looks really cool.
Are they gems or are they tokens?
I believe they're gems now.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. There's we got to do a deep dive on it.
Upgrade.
Yes, let me upgrade you. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here live on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, thanks. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. We'll be back next week. We are trying to get a guest lined up. It's becoming a little more complicated than I thought it would be,
Okay.
but I'm going to keep trying,
Yeah.
okay?
Sure.
I'm going to keep bothering people is what I'm getting at here. So you never know who's going to pop into a No Buffs. But until next time, the tribe is spoken.